Hey guys, Seth Ortiz here, bringing you the buzz for today. And the buzz is the Spider-Man movie coming out in 2017 that is in canon with Marvel Studios. So Sony worked out a deal with Marvel worked out a deal with Sony. They worked out a deal together. Like Sony still owns the character, like they've always have in movie rights, but they're letting Marvel use them for whatever purposes they want to use them for in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'm gonna talk about what they should do with Spider-Man and what to expect out the Spider-Man movie, what I think is going to happen, and just other stuff. Just talking about it because we really have no clue what the hell they're gonna do with Spider-Man and all that. All right, so this is what we already know. It is confirmed that they're gonna hire like an actual young teenager, and it's completely rebooted. So like Andrew Garfield, nope. None of that is in canon with the Marvel universe either. So actual teenager, like 15 years old, actually in high school, and we're gonna know who it is before Civil War comes out because he is going to be in Civil War. And usually, with movies, they always release like who's gonna play who, and then the internet goes crazy. So he's gonna be in Civil War, and Spider-Man did play a kind of big part in the Civil War comics. Like at first he was on Tony Stark's side, Iron Man's side, and Mr. Fantastic's side, and then Mr. Fantastic, Thor was like gone. I don't know if he was dead or something. I don't want to confuse the story up, but anyways, he just wasn't there, and he probably didn't even he probably died. But yeah, so Mr. Fantastic created like a clone, like a robotic clone of Thor that had his powers and all that, and had his hammer and stuff, which is weird. But he created that, and then he fought for Iron Man's side, and then he killed somebody in Captain America's side, which is against the Heroes Registration Act. And that's like a whole other topic. If you want me to go into that, just let me know. Well, anyways, Spider-Man wasn't okay with that. Then he went over to Captain America's side, and he was like, I can't fight for you anymore because we're just trying to settle this debate over this, and now we're killing each other. So then he went over to Captain America's side, and yeah, and even in that, he actually went out and said his own. Oh, now this turned into a Civil War thing, but anyways, so yeah, Spider-Man played a big part in Civil War. Like, yeah, that's him, and now we're gonna see him. The first time we're actually gonna see him, which is in Civil War, like I said before. We're gonna have Black Panther in that movie. Like basically everybody in the MCU cast except for like Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor, they're not in it. But basically everybody else. And Thor, Hulk is kind of cast, but alright. But anyways, the topic is Spider-Man is gonna be with everybody, and they already confirmed that they're not gonna do an origin story again because we already saw it a lot of times and like people were annoyed about it. So they're like, nah, you guys really don't need it. If anything, we'll just have Deadpool pop on the screen and do like a 30-second thing just filling you in if you forget. But yeah, superhero's parents die or uncle die, and then comes superhero. Alright, so that's rolled out. So basically, what they're doing, like, I have like a theory that they're just gonna have Peter Parker in it and just introduce him like that, because everybody knows Spider-Man's real name. Like Peter Parker, that's pretty common. It's like kind of like Bruce Wayne and Batman. Like even comic moviegoers, they should know that. And if you're giving him screen time, he is important. And then but yeah, no origin story. And in fan made posters, they're not putting Peter Parker in there. They're putting actual Spider-Man in there. So I think Marvel they have to give us actual Spider-Man in his suit. Like, don't mess around and just put Peter Parker and do a little tease. Like, have him actually established in the universe. That's how I think it's gonna be. Like, now I already established like Spider-Man's like a small superhero, so he never came across Captain America or anyone like that. But he does like save people. But like when in the last Marvel movie have you seen like Captain America or Iron Man run around New York and like actually save people? Like I think that's what Spider-Man would be doing, and he just became Spider-Man. So then that's what he's doing in Civil War. And then he's gonna get a say in what's going on, because how I think about it is in the comics, a group of heroes fought like a villain that they were outmatched by, and the villain killed a whole bunch of people, and they basically that's gonna be Captain America versus Crossbones is gonna do that. Like a whole bunch of people are gonna die or whatever, and then all this crazy stuff will happen. So yeah. And now let's move on to the Spider-Man movie. Like, forget the Civil War, blah blah blah. We'll probably see him for like 5 minutes, you know. But then we're getting one in 2017. They even moved the Thor movie and all that. So we're getting Spider-Man in 2017 and also Thor Ragnarok. All right. So this is what I think. I think we can agree that Spider-Man never had the real universe of Spider-Man, how he really is. The first Spider-Man, this is the problem with it. They got Dr. Octopus pretty perfect. You know, he was pretty accurate and then he died and whatever, but that's a whole different thing, so who cares if they died or anything. But even Green Goblin, he had like a Power Ranger suit or whatever. You know, I was fine with that, how he looked and all that. And when I was watching the movie way back then, I didn't even know much about Green Goblin. But that's you know, actually how it all went down in the universe and all that. And then Spider-Man 2, Dr. Octopus. Then Spider-Man 3, they completely ruined Venom. Alright. Spider-Man's probably best villain. Green Goblin and Venom, hands down, basically. And then they gave him, what? 20 minutes of screen time, and he was just this scrawny black Spider-Man that is freaking... Oh my god. And then the actor that played him. So yeah, they ruined Venom. So you think... And then, here comes the Amazing Spider-Man. First they have the Lizard, he dies, but then you get to Green Goblin. He's not even Norman Osborn. He's, yeah. And he actually had like a disease or whatever. Different person that actually has the Green Goblin powers in there. So yeah, so that doesn't count. So now, since we have the, when I'm talking about, I was talking about Batman, when I was talking about Ben Affleck, the ultimate suit, the ultimate universe for the super, like, right now, Captain America is in his definitive movie form. Like, that's how he should be. He's surrounded by Iron Man. He's a leader of the Avengers. He has 2 Avengers movies, 2 Encounters, and, you know, two good movies, and one of the best storylines, really. Actually, the best Marvel movie. The best solo Marvel movie is Captain America, Winter Soldier. So they gave him justice. Now it's time for Spider-Man. Now Spider-Man's going to be with all these heroes, but aside that, this is what they need to do. They need to bring Venom in here, because probably the next Spider-Man, if they want to take a risk with their Marvel movies or whatever, it's probably going to be in 2020. I mean, who are you really going to do? Because the main 2 villains for Spider-Man are Green Goblin, which we're sick of, and Venom. It's hard doing Venom because it feels like the Spider-Man character needs some build-up, and then that's like, and then he comes, like, he thinks, like, he's at his, you know, he fought Green Goblin or whatever, and then Venom comes, then, whew, and then he has a bigger villain to fight and a harder villain. Now, we're kind of tired of them doing Green Goblin, but if they did do Green Goblin, they're going to have him as Norman Osborn and how it usually is. And I don't know, and also, like, the relationship, like, is he going to be dating Mary Jane? Most likely he's going to be dating Mary Jane. Alright, you don't know, that's the redhead girl from the original 3 movies, Spider-Man movies, Mary Jane, and then it was Gwen Stacy, the blonde-haired one that gets killed by Joker. Also a great comic storyline, but I think it's unfair pressure to put on Marvel for them to handle Venom right away. But there's other villains that we want to see from Spider-Man, like they can do Mysterio, bam, just like that, Kraven. But you know, it's just difficult. It just seems so difficult. But we need a Venom. That's what we need out of Spider-Man, for him to get a Venom, okay? That's really the ultimate goal. We already had Green Goblin twice, and he killed Gwen Stacy, and that's like the really big storyline for him. But you know, we're getting all that stuff from, there's gonna be a solo Venom movie from Sony Studios before they like messed up the Amazing Spider-Man 2. That was what I thought about what's gonna go on with Spider-Man in the MCU. I mean, I know I probably didn't get everything that I wanted to say, but that was really just off the top of my head, and also it being so far from his debut, well, really only a year, but we really don't know anything about him. So I'll probably think of something later and do another video. So don't worry about that. If there's any topics or if there's anything that you think I missed or anything I should go over about Spider-Man, please comment it, because I'd be excited to do it, alright? So, see you guys on next video.